She met him on an ordinary day, in a town where dreams often flickered and disappeared. Nancy Davis was a young actress, chasing roles, chasing hope. Ronald Reagan was already a familiar face in Hollywood, tall, charming, with a voice that carried warmth and calm. The moment their eyes met, Nancy felt something she couldn't explain. It wasn't lightning or a dramatic pause in the air, it was quieter, deeper, as if destiny had just whispered her future. By 1952, they were married. No glittering spectacle, no extravagant ceremony, just two souls promising each other forever. Nancy never cared about Hollywood lights. She cared about Ronald, or as she would always call him, Ronnie. From the start, her life was tied to his, and she loved it that way. As the years passed, Ronald's path began to change. The movie sets gave way to politics, the applause of the audience replaced by the cheers of crowds in campaign halls. It was a risky leap, but Nancy never wavered. She stood beside him, guiding, supporting, protecting. She became his closest advisor, his most trusted confidant, and the one person who could always see the man behind the speeches. When Ronald Reagan became governor of California, Nancy was already his shadow and his light. And when he entered the White House as President of the United States, she remained the same woman, watching him, grounding him, loving him fiercely. To the world, he was the leader of a nation. To Nancy, he was still Ronnie. Their love was never hidden, it was visible in the way they looked at each other, in the small gestures, the smiles, the way his hand always reached for hers. Then came the day that nearly tore it all apart. March 1981. A shot rang out, and the president collapsed. The world froze. Nancy rushed to the hospital, her heart breaking with every step. For hours, she lived in fear, whispering only one prayer: "Please God, don't take him from me." When Ronald opened his eyes, the bond between them grew stronger than ever before, as if love itself had shielded him from death. But fate wasn't finished testing them. Years later, Ronald was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Slowly, painfully, his memories began to fade. The world watched a great man lose pieces of himself. But Nancy refused to let him face it alone. She dedicated her days and nights to his care, holding his hand when he no longer remembered why, reminding him silently of a love that time could never erase. "Our love was the greatest gift of my life," Nancy said, her voice trembling but certain. And she meant it. Even when he forgot, she remembered enough for both of them. Ronald Reagan left behind a legacy as a president, an actor, a leader. But beyond the history books lies the real story, the story of a man and a woman who found in each other something stronger than fame, stronger than power, stronger than time itself.